So hello and welcome back to another video everyone. So I thought I'd show you one of the latest updates that I've got so far. This is for the melee slash blade. And I just thought I'd show you the inspiration first. This was from Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory, I think episode 9. This is the Falk pulling out its blade. And I thought that looked pretty damn cool, that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and animate something very similar and use it as a sort of basis for getting the framing right on this AC. So let's just give you a shot of this at the moment. This is the end pose from the animation, and this is just a test level, so you'll only see the test lighting, but you know, it looks really cool anyway. The idea is when doing this kind of thing, you want to get the poses looking really cool, and the finished animation looks sweet, especially with the effects. I just thought I'd just admire how beautiful the AC looks here at the moment, and just the pose. So basically, what we've got going on here before I even get into the animation and start the animation looping and show you around that, is that the particle effect that I've been working on today, I worked previously on the missile, the Macross missile spam kind of effect, and that seemed to work out pretty well, so I decided I would go ahead and mess around with a blade effect, which I've been trying to perfect for quite a while, and I honestly think I've got one down. This is thanks to Dusty. Shout out to Dusty, by the way, or Helldiver. Basically, the way that this works is that it uses PSP textures from Armored Core, and uses those as the base for the blade, and then I put a specular and vector parameter into the blade material so I can change its color whenever I want, and this allows me to create multiple different colors of blade. But enough of all these crazy different jargons, just spitting them at you. I'm going to get on with the animation, so we're going to just reel it to the end here and then hit loop. So basically what you're seeing here is the blade comes out and then slowly fades out with the lens flare, and also you might be able to see a booster effect. So let's just take a look around here, see what this looks like. So what I've tried to do is match the blade with the melee animation and also the booster at the same time. The booster only affects it when it needs to push it back. If this was playing forward, the AC would be boosting forwards right now, but I just love the way the blade looks from almost every angle. The way this is done is not via the usual planes method of doing this that the PSP and PS2 games use. What I actually did was select a lot of different planes and placed them all over the mesh, because normally what happens is you layer two meshes or two model planes, horizontal and vertical, and that gives you enough of an effect. But because this is a CGI movie that I'm doing, rendered in Unreal, and not actually a video game, I can afford to up the polygon count, so I've made a dramatic increase to the amount of cards or planes that we use in the effect, and it looks really good either way. We've also got, if you've noticed, we've got lighting on the ground and on the AC, and also shadows that kind of scatter all over it, as the same with the boosters as well. And then it slowly hides back inside the arm. The funny thing to note about this is I don't actually have a physical port for the arm that should open. A lot like the original games, I just didn't make one at the time, so instead this is kind of skimping out on it by leaving the lens flare effect to cover up that. And I actually think that's pretty neat, because you can imagine that as the door's closing, the lens flare is going off, because there should be a hatch there that's open, exposing the blade. It gets just in the right position, the blade comes out, does its thing, and then goes away again. Let's try and look from a top-down shot. As you can see, the blade goes as horizontal as it can, and then goes out into that finished position and relaxes again. Those last couple of frames, I think it's like 10 or 15 frames at the end, returning to a somewhat kind of relaxed position really made the difference with this animation as well. Because Blade animations tend to be really weird, especially because I've started him off in a kind of ready pose, and you'll just see his position of his feet just slides across the floor here. Let's have a look. So all it does is it rotates his waist and his legs move slightly, which is why the boosting effect is so important, because then I could just kind of make him look as if he's going forwards. Let's get a close-up here and see the light reflecting off him. I just love the way that that reflects all over his armor. It just looks so good. I've been trying to work on this effect for ages. I didn't even get it right in the first Limit release. It didn't look this good. And I should have really thought about doing this to begin with, but Unreal Engine 4 just really seems to cover up a lot of problems that you would have with low poly or low resolution stuff. Especially with the bloom and emissive on it. It just covers up a lot of the stuff that would normally look really terrible, especially because it's only seen for like a second. I'm so happy with this. I can't tell you like how much, because I've just been trying to do this for ages, and now I've finally got it, and it looks quite cool. I'm just happy with how everything looks, especially with the added little bits of detail like the light on the floor and everything. I just can't wait to get that in the proper level and have a little bit of a Blade battle. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.